Three, two. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of After 30 with Cara Eriguel. I hope you guys are all safe and well and vibrant like this new pimple that just showed up today. It decided to show up today. But hello, we are bringing this pimple also into this podcast episode. Diba? Bigyan natin siya ng airtime. But thank you so much for being here. If you guys are listening, if you guys are watching this podcast right now, I'm so grateful that you're here and that you chanced upon this or that you really went here to listen to this very interesting episode. I'm going to give you a really good quote that I heard pretty recently from the late author and speaker Ken Robinson. It's a powerful, powerful line. He said, "You're a unique moment in the world, in the whole of human history." Let me repeat that. You are a unique moment in the whole of human history. Life is creative, and you create your own life. Now, you've probably heard these lines before. You may have listened to your fair share of podcasts, self-help podcasts, motivational podcasts, read tons of self-help and motivational books, watch TED Talks, and still find yourself getting up every single day feeling like you have to drag yourself out of bed. Monday pa lang pagod ka na and you just can't wait for the weekend. Anybody feel that way? Meron bang natatamaan dito? And you also find yourself wondering why some people seem like they just absolutely love what they do, even if it's not even something that seems fulfilling or enjoyable for you. But they would not trade what they do and where they are in life for anything. They're in their element. And then you wonder, I'm good at what I do, but why am I not happy or fulfilled? Guess what? Being good at something is not enough reason to do it for the rest of your life while sacrificing your true happiness and purpose. Being in your element is both aptitude and passion. It's important to find your element because it allows you to know who you truly are and what you're truly capable of. Long lasting happiness, a deeper sense of fulfillment that comes from having a purpose in life. That is true happiness. How you respond to the world affects deeply how the world responds to you. So, who are you really? What do you love? And what is your purpose in this world? I'm so honored to have back on the show one of my faves, the host of Small Talk, a motivation and mindset podcast, the one, the only, Alec Cuenca.
Hey, Kara.
Hi.
Hi. Hi to everyone who are listening right now. I'm so happy that I'm here. I'm so excited. We were talking about our schedules just matching at the last minute. So, like, let's do it. Let's record it. I'm just so happy to be back here. I know that I'm always having a great time every time I'm guesting here. So, thank you so much for having me. And also, I love your intro. I was like, whoa, those are amazing insights. And thank you. Thank you so much for just sharing that intro.
Oh, thank you so much. See, I love your energy already, guys. This is why I super love Alec. And I'm sure this is why you love him too. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. And I love it. Talagang, totoo yung nagwo-work then when you work with the universe, diba the universe works with you. So we were just like, diba? You were just like,
Yeah.
oh, congrats. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, let's record a podcast. Sure, when you free. Thursday, G? Agad,
G. G.
I love it. I mean, I know you're super busy too. I mean, we're both doing our own stuff, but somehow we just found this perfect pocket of time to record. And I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for being here, Alec. How have you been since the last time we spoke? Kumusta ka naman?
Wow. My life kind of turned 180. I mean, I was doing something that I was really good at and something that I really enjoyed back then, but now I'm kind of seeing what's the essence of it. So I'm really excited on our topic for today because I feel like I there's so many things that changed ever since we talked. And even though there were a lot of values back then, I'm expecting that we are going to get a lot of values from this one as well.
I love it. Perfect timing talaga, di ba?
Perfect timing talaga.
No, and I said a while ago off the record, right? I said, "Oh, you have a different background now, huh?" And of course, I've been seeing your posts. You've been everywhere, and you've been doing so much. And we kind of have an idea. No, not kind of. We have an idea of what you truly are good at, right? And this is
Yep.
exactly why you're here right now. But I want to start by asking you, at what point in your life did you realize something needed to change. Of course, throughout the process of you finding yourself, you're still fairly young. I know you're
Yeah.
not in your 30s, far, quite
Halfway
far
there.
from your 30s.
Yeah.
But you've been through a lot. We know that. I know that because I've had a few conversations with you as well, and you're very open about everything you've
Yep.
been through. At what point in your life did you realize something needed to change and that change needed to come from you? And what is that something that needed to change?
I love this because I'm basically telling two stories now. The first one was when I experienced my heartbreak, which I think I shared also
Mm-hmm.
in the episodes that we did or in my podcast. I and Now that I'm in this new chapter in my life, I feel like it's also a new change. I also went through another phase of something's got to change. Something's just got to improve. And even though this is what I dreamed of, this is what I set my intentions to, or these are my goals now. And now that I have it, I think there's something more to be done. There's something more that needs to be seen in this world. And so, but for two of those instances, I think what change is really um, asking myself, like, what's my purpose? And for most of the time where I really don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing, those are the times that I really hit that mode where I just reflect heavily on my past decisions, on what's happening in my life, and I just ask myself, is this where I really want to be, with the right intentions, of course. And in both of those scenarios, it kind of, okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. It really started with a slightly, feeling of disgust. Like, I know I deserve better. I know I can do more. I know I deserve more. And
Mm-mm.
so why am I not reaching that? Why am I not seeing that in my life? And I figured that almost everybody goes through that phase, right? It's almost that small sense of disgust where, okay, I can do better. I deserve better. I deserve
Mm-mm.
more than what I'm seeing right now. And so that's where it all started for me. Like that small feeling of disgust at myself, and like kind of
Disgust.
anger at myself, knowing that, I have so much potential and I'm not living to my potential. And so that's where it kind of started in both of the chapters in my life where I really leaped onto the next level.
Ooh, I love that. My goodness. But I'm just uh I want to ask you, know, why disgust is such a strong word. I
Yep.
like that you used it because it's true. Thank you for saying you're not going to sugarcoat it anymore. When you read these self-help books and you listen to, these motivational speakers, they rarely use that word when they describe themselves or they describe a
Hmm.
feeling that catapults them sort of to progressing in their
Yep.
lives, diba? But I'm just wondering why disgust is the word that you chose to I guess explain that feeling, and what was this disgust directed towards? Ano yung where
Yeah.
did it come from? Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. I when I was okay, let's just backtrack a backstory for why I said that. So
Mhm.
last year, I kind of set my goals that I wanted to become a podcaster.
Mhm.
I wanted to do
Last year lang ba yun?
public
Oh my
speaking. Yeah,
god.
last year, yeah, last
Uh,
year, yeah. So last year, I kind of set my goals really, really high, 2021,
mm.
and I've achieved them. Like everything that I wanted, I've achieved.
Progressing in their lives, diba? But I'm just wondering why disgust is the word that you chose to I guess explain that feeling, and what was this disgust directed towards? Ano yung where
Yeah.
did it come from? Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. I when I was okay, let's just backtrack a backstory for why I said that. So
Mhm.
last year, I kind of set my goals that I wanted to become a podcaster.
Mhm.
I wanted to do
Last year lang ba yun?
public
Oh my
speaking. Yeah.
god.
Last year, yeah. Last
Uh,
year, yeah. So last year, I kind of set my goals really, really high, 2021, and
mm.
I've achieved them. Like everything that I wanted, I've achieved them. But there was a point when I kind of achieved all of my goals, where it felt so empty. And
Oh.
then I reflected and I realized that I was doing all of these things for the wrong reasons. And that's where I kind of felt disgusted at myself because I was tricking myself into saying that, no, this is your purpose and this is where you're meant to be, where that's where I'm actually was meant to be. But I, I kind of like, I kind of like tricked myself into I'm doing this for the right reasons, where I'm
Uh-huh.
not really authentically doing it for what I'm saying that these for my good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, a little bit of backstory. My heart was broken back in 2017, and my journey was, I mean, back in 2020. Yeah, back in 2020. So after my heart got broken, I said, you know what? It's my revenge season. This is I'm gonna prove
Uh-huh.
to the world that I can be so much better, that I'm more than this. And then I did. And then I realized now, whoa, I just wasted 8 months. Well, thank you for all the success and the achievements that I had, but
Uh-huh.
I was kind of doing it out of hate, which is
Oh.
something that I kind of seen it coming, but I kept on like brushing it away. No, no, this is the way to do it. I learned the concepts, I learned how to do it, so I'll just apply it. But then my heart was really in the wrong direction. So after I achieved everything that I set to achieve, I felt so empty. And I was like,
Mm.
you
What
kind of felt
next? Parang ganon.
that what now? I mean,
Uh,
now what? You got your revenge. Now what?
now what?
So it
Because the
felt so
intention
empty.
was different. The purpose wasn't
Yep.
there.
Yep. The purpose wasn't there. And then it kind of felt like I was seeing glimpses of it, that
Mm-hmm.
no, you're actually doing it for the wrong reasons, blah blah blah. And then life kind of threw a curveball that kind of exposed all of my insecurities, all of my demons, if I could say, all of the
Uh-huh.
things that really showed me that I was doing it for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
It kind of just grounded me into putting me back to square one and asking, why are you really doing this? So I spent the last few months of this year, actually, of just this year, where I was like, okay, let's do a recalibration. I'm doing the right thing, but am I doing it for the right reasons? Right. And it can be
Mm-hmm.
two different things. You may be doing the right thing in your life, something that
Mm-hmm.
you're good at, something that you love doing, but if you don't have the right intentions for it or the right reasons for it, it's still going to feel empty at the end. So I kind of just held this position in my life this past few year, where I would just really go deep down and discover more parts of myself and just learn more about myself, increase my self-awareness, so that now I'm at this point where I'm just blissfully doing everything that I was already doing before, but
Yeah.
now it's on a different level. Like I'm happier, there's
I
more
love
peace,
that.
there's more joy, and it's just
Mhm.
really I'm just really really happy that I kind of life kind of swung a big bat at me and kind of grounded me and made me reflect as well.
I'm so happy for you. You know, this reminded me what you just said. Of something you shared with me. I'm not sure if it was off air or on air. Sorry, pero you said something like, "Oh, you needed the." Oh, this was right before we recorded our last episode, and you were like, "Oh, sorry, I needed to take a break." Or parang you needed to take a breather, like
Yeah.
a social media break or podcast break, ganyan. Does that have anything to do with what you were feeling at the time? Like you were getting
Mhm.
tired because your intention was different, or maybe you weren't in your full element?
Yes, I think both. I didn't have the right intentions for it, and that led me to not being in my element. Like I can put a podcaster hat, and I think a lot of us, especially those who are not, they don't want to face that. We all put hats in our lives, and so I kind of know when to put hat. I'm a podcaster hat. I'm a coach hat, but deep down, if I'm not really congruent with who with my character, there's gonna be that friction when no one's looking, when I'm just alone by myself, when I'm just alone with my thoughts. there's that mismatch and there's friction, and there's where the issues, the insecurities, all these doubts and fears and worries came into my life. So yes, I kind of like took these quick breaks or breathers because I just really don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped. And and looking back now, now that you mentioned it, I just realized that it was all part of the process. Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't took those quick breathers, I probably wouldn't, process that in the way that I processed it.
Exactly. And I'm so happy for you. No, and you're right. Everything happens for a reason. Those things had to happen. It's not okay. You can look at it as like, oh, unfortunately these things happened to me. Well, that's the reality, diba? You felt unfortunate at the time that those things happened to you, but now that you're here in this blissful moment of your life, you're more than grateful that those things happened to you. Diba? Because
Yeah.
that's exactly why you're here right now. The way you are and the way you see things right now.
Yeah.
So, okay. I know we kind of talked about this also in the past episode, but I just want to go back to it here now. How did you figure out that you were good at what it is that you do? Did it
Hmm.
take a lot of practice and work, or did you just wake up one day and realize, hey, galing ako dito. I'm good at this. I should keep doing it.
I think if you experience the latter part which you shared, I think you're really born a genius, or you're just, few favorites of God. You're one of those few mga anak talaga na mga paboritong
Anak
anak
ng
ng
Diyos.
Diyos.
Paborito ka
Lahat
ng
tayo anak
Diyos,
ng
diba?
Diyos, pero may mga
Oo.
paborito eh.
Ah,
Hindi, pero but I feel like, as part of the majority, I think 99% of people really don't know what they're good at and what they love doing, which is why something that I really share with people when they're asking me, like, oh, how do I find my passion? How do I find where I'm really good at? It's just looking at right now, what are your interests? What are your likes? What do you like? What are your hobbies? What's something that you just want to try, and then go try it? Because when I was starting, I kind of knew that I was good at speaking, but I didn't have any platform to do it. I was studying back in engineering, and then there was really no avenue for me to talk and communicate and become a better speaker. But I
mhm,
said, I still want to try it out. So I looked at social media and wait, I could actually practice my social media skills or my communication skills here. And that's what I did. I just practiced and tried it out. And after a few tries, I think when the first feedback comes to your life, and when you hear your first feedback, that's where it will make sense, where you'd feel like, oh, now I'm good at this. There's a concept that I learned about how to deal with imposter syndrome, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this one
oh,
because
yes, please.
a lot of people, they're really feeling that they don't want to try this, they don't want to do this because they feel like they can't, or they're incapable, and all that stuff. They
Mhm,
feel like they're an imposter if they go try it out. So one thing that I realized, it's kind of this evidence-based method that I kind of read online. I can't remember the reference, but basically,
mhm,
what you need are three things. Number one is experience. Have you done it before? Like, even if it's just a small thing. I One thing that I have in my bucket list, I just finished off my bucket list, was to speak in front of a huge audience. I did a talk back in PICC, and it was
wow.
amazing. So
Congratulations.
when I talked there, I kind of felt I'm an imposter because I haven't done it before. Like, I haven't
Mm,
spoke to a live audience before. But then I ask myself, have I done this before, or probably in a similar way? And I
mhm,
realized that I've been doing online talks for
yeah,
2 years now. And I said, okay, now I have the experience. And for example, people who want to start content creation, one thing that I really hinged on was that, well, I give advices to my friends, and it's the same thing. I'm just giving
mhm,
advices on social media. So I had that experience. So check, right? The second thing that I wanted to that I needed to check was research. Have I
uh-huh,
done my research? have I done something to expound on my knowledge and my insights on the specific topic or on the specific task that I'm about to do? And I said, well, I've been reading books. So, yes, I just watched a TED Talk earlier. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, even in the smallest kinds of research, you can do that and you can say, yes, I've done this. And the last one is feedback. And it's the most important thing, but also one of the simplest thing that you can ask for a friend. And if you ask for a friend and if they tell you that you're doing a good job, that's enough. You just need one
Mm-hmm.
person to like really believe that you can try it out. And then if you have those three, you have experience, you have done it before, you're doing your research, and you have a feedback, a positive feedback, even if it's from your mother, that's okay, right? But you know that
Yeah.
what you're doing is basically a good job. Now you can throw away the imposter syndrome because that's all that's really all you need. And if you feel like you have all of these things, you can try anything or any task that you set your mind into.
I love that. I love that. It's very direct, and it's something that you can just keep in your back pocket every time you feel it. Because we all
Yep.
still do feel imposter syndrome from time to time. Even if, tanungin nyo kahit yung mga pinakamagagaling talaga na hosts, speakers, or whoever's really good at their professions. Because we are all imposters at one point in our lives, right? If only because you don't really know what you do what you're good at when you're born into this world, diba? You figure it out,
Yeah.
you study it, you practice it, you become good at it. So hence we are indeed imposters at one point or another in our lives as you're trying to figure out to be really good at whatever it is that you want to do, diba? And I love that. Experience, which is have you done it before? Research, which is you have to do the work, of course. And third is feedback, diba? Because who and what else are you doing it for? Of course, you're doing it for yourself first, but purpose yung pinag-uusapan natin dito eh. So it's an outward thing. So who is your purpose touching? Hence, you get your
Yeah.
feedback. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us,
You're very
Alec. My
welcome.
gosh. Kailangan ko yan because I do feel that a lot of times.
Yeah. I needed
I
that. I
still
need that
do.
as well. At least now meron na tayong tool na ganun sa pocket natin.
It's a
Yeah.
constant reminder. Okay. Well, I'm just so happy for you that you've come here. And my God, has it only been 2 years? A year? A
Yep.
year and a half, 2 years since you
2 years.
started your podcast. And you've reached, wow, so far. You've done so much. And I'm so, so happy for you. And this is why I want to pick your brain because I'm sure a lot of people will also want to kind of, have something in their back pockets, 'di ba? Kung paano nila ma-reach yung goals nila, but more than that is finding their element. And that is the
Mhm.
purpose of our conversation right now because being in your element is different. Like I said kanina, 'di ba? You can be really good at something. But and this TED talk that I watched fairly recently with the late Ken Robinson nga, meron siyang kinuwento, sabi niya there was this concert, there was this pianist. And after her performance, she went on a dinner date with this guy, and this guy was like, you're so good at what you do. That was a really great performance, but it didn't seem like you loved doing it. And but she was really, really good at it. And that experience was what pushed her into stopping whatever, being a pianist, whatever it was that she was really good at doing. And then she eventually became an editor for a book. And she was so good at it because she loves reading and she loves writing as well. But she was poor for a while. She said she was penniless for a while, but now she's doing what she loves to do and she is in her element. So ganun talaga eh. And it's a constant process of finding in your life, like, and you are the perfect example of this because ginagawa mo na siya eh. You've been doing it for 2 years, but you felt like there was something missing or something
Mhm.
just needed a little bit of tweaking. And
Yep.
that's what life and creativity is, 'di ba? Kasi in 2022, guys, wala nang hindi pa nagagawa sa mundo. Eh,
Yes,
'di
yes.
ba? Every single thing right now that you feel is, oh, it's something new. Oh, wow, that's different. It's just something that has been done before, tweaked a little bit. because we're all creative that way, right?
Yep.
But Alec, I want to ask you, coming bouncing off of that very long story, sorry for that. But what do you love about this wonderful thing that you do?
Ooh, I think what I love about this is that it really allows me to maximize my strengths, right? So I'm good at it, yes, but being good at something just means that you've done it a couple of hundred times, right? If you've put in the time, the effort, you'll get good at it. But I just love how you share that maybe like the pianist, she went on to like become an editor, and she became very good at it and she loved it, because sometimes being good at something just means that you really put down the hours and the practice and the consistency and the discipline, but that doesn't mean that you're exactly in your element. For me, one thing that I realize is, of course, it really begins with self-awareness. Like, who am I? What do I really want? And what am I really, what are my strengths? One thing that really helped me is also understanding. I took a test like the Gallup strengths. Have you taken that? Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I first took the 5 and then I
Uh-huh.
eventually got the whole 38.
Oh,
My husband and I
wow.
did that. Guys, couples, if you're not married yet, if you're planning on getting married, getting the strengths test as a couple is so important. Okay, sorry,
Oh,
go ahead.
wow. Yes. No, 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 no. Don't be sorry. I love that because I didn't actually look at it as you can actually use that in a huge way in
Yeah,
helping you guys as a couple, because now you can work together. You understand his strengths and he understands your strengths, and you can
exactly.
work together harmlessly. But what I loved about it is now after I took the test, I became more aware. Oh, so this is like what I'm really good at. Like the
Mhm,
values or the traits or the personality or the character that allows me to just express my truest self, my truest greatness. And in understanding that, I now look at the things that I was doing, because even last year I was doing a lot. I was holding workshops, I was doing a lot of trainings, I was doing coaching, I
mhm,
was doing content creation about love and relationships, and then
mhm,
mindset, and then some other stuff. And then there's all of these things that I'm really quote unquote good at. But it's understanding, okay, what are my strengths, and what is the one thing or the things, the task that really allows me to maximize the strengths that I have. And for me, knowing my strengths from the Gallup test, it's like, okay, now I can figure out this is something that I'm good at, and this is also something that I will love. Even though if I don't know if I love it yet, I'm just going to
mhm,
do it and try it out. Why? Because if I do something that my unique self is really good at, that this is really me, then I'm gonna eventually love it, because doing that allows me to connect to my truest self. Yeah, so that's basically what I did.
mhm,
I chose different things, and I really asked myself, is this something allowing me? Is this something that is allowing me to just let me be my truest self and connect to my truest greatness? And if yes,
mhm,
then I'm gonna keep on doing it. And eventually, the more, again, just like with interest, the more that you do it, the more that you'll love doing it. And but that's gonna be a different story if you're not really aligned with that. Like your
mhm.
values, your character, your strengths are not really aligned with what you're doing. You can get good at it, but you cannot fall in love with it eventually.
Oof, gusto ko yung fall in love with it. No, and it's true. And actually finding your element is a lot like falling in love. 'Di ba? It's a lot like falling in
Mm,
love because
I know.
sometimes sometimes it takes, well, it does take a lot of work. 'Di ba? You have to put the work in, but sometimes it just all happens all at once. 'Di
Yep.
ba? Para lang, uy, eto na 'yon.
Mm.
'Di
Yeah.
ba? And
Oh,
that is
yeah.
the
I love
beauty.
that. I love that. And just you sharing that, I just realized something that I've been doing right now is I'm
Mhm.
coaching a lot of people, like one-on-one
Mhm.
coaching, group coaching, and I didn't know that it was a possibility for me to coach people, but there's just there's just this one person who messaged me, "Hey, do you do one-on-one coaching?" And I was like, "Huh, what do you mean? Like, what's one-on-one coaching? I don't know what that is." So I was like, no, but we can try. So yeah, let's set up a meeting." And then I kind of
Wow.
Googled how to coach people, how to do coaching and that stuff. I watched
I
YouTube
love
videos. Like, what do you do in a coaching session? What, I don't know, right? So I kind of learned the structure and I applied that. So I was kind of winging it. But after the first session, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. I love it.
it.
It provides a different element in terms of content creation. I love content creation and I'm good at it. But also
Mhm.
in coaching, I didn't have to do it a lot of times. It just happened that, oh wow, I enjoy this. I love
Yeah.
this. And I think I can be good at it if I put in more practice, of course, just like with everything else. But
Mhm.
when I did it, I said, this is just beautiful. I want to do it more. So yeah, I totally
There
agree
you
with
go.
with what you just said.
Exactly. And it's in the doing that's going to make you realize what it is. I'm also quite guilty of this. I'm a thinker planner. It
Uh-huh.
takes sometimes when karamihan naman sa atin ganun, eh, 'di ba? When you're so afraid to fail, when it's something so big, something you really want, ang tagal mong planuhin kasi in your head, it has to be perfect. It has to be the perfect time, the perfect structure, the perfect blah, blah, whatever, whatever. Hanggang sa hala, wala na, hindi mo na nagawa. Inisip mo na ng inisip, plinano mo ng plinano. But you didn't do it. But
Yep.
I love what you did because it's like if you watch Friends, right? Parang si Joey, diba? I mean, in your resume, you just put whatever. Oh, fencing or whatever. You can do this, you can do that. And then you just, once it's there, oh, can you really do it? You figure, yeah, I can do it. And then you go home and you just Google it, but you figure out
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and now you can enroll yourself in fencing classes and then learn about it.
Gusto ko yan, kasi marami tayong guilty diyan, 'di ba? You just accept lang, go, yes, I can do it, 'di ba? And then you study it because that's how people start doing things anyway, 'di ba? Wag
And
lang
that's
yung
also how
pagdodoktor
you
siguro, 'di ba? Iba naman yun, yung doktor po ako, mag-surgery, ibang usapan yun.
Yeah, I think you kay minsan ibang usapan na 'yun talaga. Pero pagdating sa mga gantong bagay, 'di ba, parang hindi nakakahiyang sabihin na, um, beginner ka. Pero although hindi mo na siya kailangan sabihin, parang if they're seeing something in you, if especially if you have that, meron kang feedback, like people are asking you,
Mm.
hindi wala kang podcast, hindi ka nagka-create ng video, parang sila na mismo nakikita na nila yung potential mo, and then
Yes.
you're just the one really like, bakit? Kaya ko ba? Like, ikaw na lang
Yeah.
nagbibigay ng doubt sa sarili mo, but you're getting the feedback already, right?
Uh-huh.
You're getting that feedback na you can do this, and you just kind of like, okay, let's just give it a try, and then once you do it, no, okay, pwede palang gawin 'to talaga.
Tamang-tama naman ako diyan, Alec. Alam mo kung ano yung lagi kong naririnig? Tagal na since maybe 4 years ago, since I left radio, even before that. "May vlog ka ba? Ba't di ka mag-vlog?" It's parang, I did a couple, I posted some, but it didn't. Hanggang ngayon, I'm still, I bought the camera. I freaking I freaking did a plan na, ito ganyan, hindi ko siya magawa. Kailangan kong balik-balikan 'to. Baka kailangan mo i-coach, Alec, 'no?
Puwede 'yan. Setan natin 'yan ng meeting. Kayang-kaya natin 'yan. Break natin mga limiting beliefs mo around diyan.
Although, meron din naman kasi, and that's something that I just, that just came to me right now, no? Maybe it's something, iba rin naman yun. May ganun din. Can you clarify this for me? Like, meron naman sigurong something that people see potential in you, that yes, you kind of are entertaining the idea of doing it, but maybe it's not like full in your heart that you want to do.
Yes. It's totally acceptable and it's totally normal. For me, what I am seeing and from what I'm hearing right now, it's just my heart is not in there yet. And it's hard.
Mhm.
Like, even if you know you're good at it and you want to try it and you can be excellent at it, if your
Mm-mm.
heart is not in the right place, then again, you're doing it for the wrong reason. So again, let's just remind ourselves that okay, I can be good at this one, but I'm my plate is kind of full right now. I'm dealing with a lot of these stuff. So let
Mm-mm.
me just, finish the cookies on this plate, and then I'll add some. And now when my heart is in the right place, or my heart really accept that, now I can do it where and and I just can be present with it. It's
Mhm.
so easy to try things. It's so easy to do things. And you can do it ng hindi tinatanggap ng puso mo, and you don't want that, because you want to
Mhm.
be like fully, like 100% all out in this thing that you want to do. Also, I want to share with that kind of thing, like the YouTube thing, right?
Mhm.
When I started my podcast, TikTok and my podcast kind of gained traction. Like, people were telling me, "Oh, you should do vlogging. You should post videos on YouTube." And I was like, yeah, I tried and didn't really work out. So I guess no,
Mhm.
I'm gonna stick with what I know, like podcast. I'm good at this, or sort of like those kind of things. And it was just me, like, not saying yes yet,
Yet.
because
Mm.
I need to really ask myself, like, um where is this coming from? So there's this
Mhm.
limiting belief, and also, like, I just really don't feel like doing it right now, and there's no need to do it right now. Like, growth is something that you can do at your own pace. Like,
Mhm.
that's something that you can set. Okay, I'm really focused on just my healing right now, my personal development. Maybe
Mhm.
after this, I can add in more stuff. I can try different things, just like vlogging. And then one thing that I did was, um, this year, 4 months ago, yeah,
Mhm.
3 to 4 months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Because one thing that really held me back was I kind of hated the term YouTuber, because I really pride myself for being a podcaster. Like, I'm different, right? I'm unique.
Yeah, I
Like,
get what you
people are gonna
mean.
call me like, "You're a YouTuber." Like, um and then it just kind of dawned on me, like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if
Yeah.
I really want to expand my social media reach, then I also need to
Mhm.
tap into YouTube. And in order for me to do that, I need first to accept that I am a YouTuber. So when I was ready to say that, yep, I'm a YouTuber, that's when I started posting videos on YouTube. And then that's when also the views and the subscribers came in. And just in less than 3 months, I was able to reach the 4,000 watch hours. And now I can monetize my video. And I was like, oh, here comes the principle of be, do, have. If
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to have these things, I need to become that person first. And if I can't be that person, if I can really, accept it fully in my heart, not just in my mind, then it's going to be pointless, going to be useless. So I need to accept that first. And if I'm not ready yet, then I'll just go through the process until because one thing that I also realized, that if it's really for you, it's not gonna miss you. It's not gonna pass you by. It's gonna be
Kahit
there
ilang
for you.
iwas ka pa. Phew!
Kahit, kahit sige, delay mo pa. Bibigay yan sa'yo ng universe. Huwag ka makulit. Sige, kahit anong delay mo pa.
Gusto ko yan, sandali sinusulat ko baka makalimutan ko. No, I love thank you for bringing that up, be, do, have,
Yep.
because a lot of us do it the other way around. And like me with getting freaking cameras for vlogging, 'di ba? And also people when you want to lose weight, you want to work out. Oh, hindi ako maka-workout kasi luma na yung shoes ko. Bibili muna ako ng bagong shoes. Bibili muna ako ng bagong workout wear.
Yep.
Or like, hindi ako makapagsulat kasi yung laptop ko, luma na, tas yung ballpen ko pangit. Yung mga those are all excuses, 'di ba?
Yep.
Binabaliktad mo have, 'di ba nagiging have, do, be, or have, be,
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
When it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yep.
I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh, gosh. Ang dami namang masyadong tamang-tama moments dito sa atin, Alec. Ano ba yan?
Kaya nag-enjoy talaga yung mga usapan natin. Hindi na natin alam kung saan mapupunta eh. Basta maraming maraming lessons, saka maraming matatamaan.
Exactly. Kaya nga tayo nag-uusap eh, 'di
Yeah.
ba?
Yeah.
Kasi marami tayong mga pinagdadaanang tamang-tama sa ating dalawa. But okay, so we've kind of said, 'di ba? O ano ba, textbook definition ng being in your element is having both the aptitude, these qualities, skills that you're good at, you're good at, and people know you're good at, and also passion, 'di ba? And of course opportunity. It
Yep.
what I heard from what you were saying a while ago, yung buong story mo, no, was that everything just has to be a balance, Diba? It has to be a balance of timing, a balance of your heart being in the right place, your intention, of the opportunities, diba? And everything else just merging. And a lot of the people that I've also interviewed and I've talked to, including yourself, diba? Who are at the best time of their lives, who are at the peak of their careers, diba? Who are really enjoying it and being in their element. When you ask them, anong paano ka nakarating diyan? Anong ginawa mo? I've interviewed a couple of YouTubers really big, like si Alex Gonzaga, and also si Mimiya, a couple of like really huge, diba, online
Yep.
personalities, YouTubers. And I'm like, paano? Diba? Ang galing-galing niya. How did you get to that first million? And then blah, blah, blah. And then dire-diretso na. And hindi ko alam. I was just sabi ko, 'di ba kasi thinker tayo, planner, eh. Paano ano
Yep.
number steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paano gagawin ko para maging ganyan din ako? So wala, nag-video lang ako, ginawa ko lang kung ano yung ginagawa ko naman talaga on a daily ta's nangyari lang siya.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. You just also be who you are
Yep.
or be who you want to be. And then of course, kasama yung work, kasama yung heart, kasama yung
Yeah.
opportunities all at the same time. Alec, when are you in your element? Ano yung you being in your element? When are you feeling the happiest when you do what you do? What makes you feel fulfilled?
I think, oh, this is crazy because if you ask that question to me a year ago, I would say like when someone comes up to me and say that I've changed my life, which is also a great thing, which is an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
But now that you asked it, my answer is I just know that I'm in my element while I'm doing it. And this is what they're talking about when you just love the process, not the result. And I just, sometimes you're going to think, oh, I'm going to be in my element. No, you just kind of do it. And then you find yourself in the zone, in your element, and you kind of just catch yourself
Mhm.
in these small moments of bliss where you're doing what you're doing, right? So for example, I was shooting a content and then
Mhm.
I kind of paused like, oh my gosh, I'm living the life that I wanted, like
Oh,
those moments, right?
wow.
And then outside when I'm kind of brainstorming for another concept or I'm finishing my book, and then when I go outside and I just look at looking for inspiration, I was like, damn, like this is so good. Like I know I'm doing something, but I'm just so happy. Like right now, while I'm doing it, I'm just so happy. And I feel like I'm in my element because number one,
Mhm.
I'm doing something that I'm really good at, but
Mhm.
also what you said that like there's a combination of passion as well, or like there's a touch of passion, and passion means like to struggle for, right?
Mhm.
Or I think that's close to the Latin phrase of it, like to suffer for. So if you're willing to like do the struggle part of that thing that you want to do, then you are already being passionate about it. But there's also something that people miss out. It's not just you're just suffering for it. A lot of people say, oh, if you love this, you got to work hard for it. But if
Mhm.
you're having fun, that's
Yeah.
another element that you know that you are in your element, right?
Yes.
So it's the combination of those three things for me. It's really doing something that you're good at, doing something that you know that you'd like to work hard for, or you're okay that you're struggling for this thing, and
Mhm.
also you're having fun while doing it. So yeah.
Importante 'yun. Ang laki-laking bagay nun. Thank you for
Like
sharing that, Alec.
for example, ito, nagkukuwentuhan lang tayo, nag-enjoy lang tayo, 'di
'Di
ba? And we are
ba?
in our element.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. But I just want to say it again. I'm so happy for you. And what the story that you just shared with us reminded me of a conversation I had with my husband about, when we were talking about me moving to the province where he is now. And of course I was sad about it, and na question pa nga yung marriage namin at one point because he was like, "Ano ka ba? Career or marriage?" I'm like, it's not about that. It's not that. And he's like, when you come here, you can do so many things. There are so many opportunities waiting for you. And I was just like, but I don't want those other things. I found me here. I found my element. This is what I love doing. I love hosting. I can't imagine. And he was like, you can make, more money here, but doing this can get feel
Yeah.
more fulfilled. So go, yeah, I see that. I hear you, but I found it already. 'Di ba? It may not be the whatever, for you it might not be the
Yeah.
wow thing, pero sa akin nahanap ko na siya eh. 'Di ba? But an important takeaway from that is now that yes, I am moving there, it doesn't mean that I will have to sacrifice it because I have found it. Hence, I can bring it with me everywhere. 'Di ba? I
Yes.
can be in my element wherever I am planted.
Yes. And I love that you highlighted that, because being in your element, again, it's also a habit that you can cultivate. A lot of people might think, especially if you're just new to like finding your element, you think that there's this just scarce opportunity where you can practice being in your element. But no, there are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of way that you can be in your element, even wherever you are, or even sometimes if your project varies from one project to another, you
Mhm.
can be in your element in those different times. It's just a matter of you
Mhm.
just really, again, doing something that you're aligned with your strengths, and also you want to work hard for it, and you're also having fun. So yeah, I think those three things, naman, you can bring that wherever you go, and therefore you can still try, or you can be in your element pa rin.
Oh yeah, definitely. Gusto ko yung kinukuwento mo ngayon yung sinabi mo kanina 'di ba, eto tayo nagkukuwentuhan lang, nagtatawanan, having fun, at the same time doing something, something that hopefully touches other people's hearts as well and inspires them as well. We are in our element right now in this moment, and that is so true. You ask yourself, if you guys are wondering about, kailan ba yun? Ano ba yung element na yan na sinasabi ninyo? Ano ba yung feeling na yan? 'Di ba ako rin dati, ano ba 'yan, hindi ko alam. Pero gusto ko yung sinabi mo, Alec, na nalalaman mo lang siya when you are in the moment because that is 150% true. When I'm standing on the stage, when I'm talking to someone here on the
Ah,
podcast, yung alam mo yung tas merong kunwari, 'di ba, may tao pagbaba mo ng stage yung parang, "Grabe energy mo, 4 na oras ka na 'no, okey ka pa ba? Gusto mo ba ng kape? Gusto mo ba ng ganyan?" Tas ako parang, "Ha? Like, 'di ba?" And that's when it touches you, and that's when you realize, "Huh, kasi hindi ko siya napapansin."
yes,
'Di ba?
yes.
And you when you're talking to someone, it's been what? It's been 46 minutes now that you and I are talking.
Wow.
But it still feels like, 'di ba? It feels like no time has passed. We are completely just enjoying what we're doing. And even
Ah,
if we don't get paid for it,
yes.
even if you don't get paid for it, you
Yep.
will still keep doing it. And that
Yeah,
is you in your element.
I think I heard that in the previous week, in the last week as well. Like, because I moved in with my team, with my housemates, and then they saw me for the first time holding a workshop. I did a TikTok masterclass, so I taught people how to grow their TikTok for 4 hours, and after that,
Goodness.
they were like, wow. Like they were speechless. I was like, what? I mean, I've been doing this for a couple of months. And they just said, like, you're in your element. And I was like, what does that mean? And then now that we're talking about it, it just makes so much sense that when I'm teaching those kind of things, when I'm doing those kind of tasks, I'm in my element
Mhm.
because I don't even know how long I've been working, or
Mhm.
you're just there, you're just present, and you don't even care about time anymore. You just do what you're doing.
Sarap, ang sarap, 'di ba? Kaya siya importante that when it happens to you, you take note of it. Mental note, heart note, 'di ba? Soul note. Remember that this moment is when you are in your element, and when you keep doing it, it's just gonna take you on a deeper level of happiness and fulfillment. 'Di ba? It can be in the most unexpected moments.
Yep.
And ngayon ko lang din nare-realize na kaya pala medyo super empath din yung asawa ko eh, no? Na nalalaman niya agad, like kaya niya akong i-catch kasi even me, I can't catch myself. Because we are imposters a lot of times, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of times you just want to please the person you love or you want to please the people you work with. So you say, yes, I'm enjoying this. Yes, I would love to do that. But, and then you do it. And then because it resonates, nararamdaman ng tao that you were not in your element and you're not really loving this moment that you are in. 'Di ba? So my husband catches me, hindi mo naman talaga gustong gawin niya. I'm like, what? No! It hurts me that you say that. But like, 'di ba, when you step back and you think, Usually 'pag nagho-host ako hindi naman sumasakit yung likod ko. Pero 'pag
Yeah.
ginagawa ko isang bagay na yun, ang sakit-sakit ng likod ko, 'di ba?
Yep. Yep.
Those things you take note of because when you are in your element, para kang immortal.
Yes, parang ano, parang super saiyan.
'Di
Sa
ba?
mga and one thing that I love that you mentioned as well is your husband is a super empath. Hindi lang siya empath, super empath pa
Super
siya.
oo.
Kasi one thing that I also value is like energy and
Hmm.
vibrations. Yung 'di ba sinasabi nila good vibes, good vibe. It's vibration. And it's just this thing that because I also realize that I'm an empath. Now, like when I'm talking to people, I just don't see them physically. Like I see an aura. I know this sounds really mystic and crazy and shit, but sorry for saying that. But
No, but it's
it's
true.
real. But it's real.
Yeah.
You kind of see when you're an empath, you kind of see them like there's this energy, and the energy doesn't lie. Even if you've been doing this a hundred of times, if you're doing this a couple of times already,
Mhm.
your energy doesn't lie. And if your energy is really telling you that you're not really enjoying it, you're not having fun, it's going to show in your energy. It's going to show in your vibration, and people around you can sense that. So,
Oh, yeah.
definitely when people also like commend you, like you were so good, you're in your elements, or like people are giving you affirmations and just really complimenting you, you kind of accept that as well, and like take as you said, a mental note, a heart note, and a soul note, and
Mhm.
to just make sure that you realize now, oh, when I'm doing this, now what did I do right? I think that's the next question that you
Yeah.
need to ask, like what did I do right now, so that I can repeat the process of just being in my element.
I love that. Gagi, kinalabutan ako dun. Kasi yung line na inabot na usapan natin, I love
Oo
it.
nga eh.
No, I really love it. Okay, couple more questions for me, Alec. Just kind of round it up a bit, no? How does one find their element? Paano kung if you were to, if you only had about a minute to tell someone, kung paano nga ba, Alec, I am in dire need of finding my element. How do I find it? And what does one need to stop doing and start doing?
Okay. So one application that I would like a lot of people to try is just really study yourself. Like open a notebook, open a piece of paper, and write down your skills or your interests or your hobbies. And then pick five that I think you should try to write at least 20 things that you feel like you're interested in, you're good at, or even if you're not sure, just write it down, 20 things. And then pick five, and then choose one to try first. And then after you try that, move on to the next one, and then move on, and then move on. Now it's like you have the step by step and figuring out which one will let you lead to where you can maximize your strengths or your skills, so that you check the first element. And then second, of course, just try. I mean, if I'm gonna round it up like that, just try. List down
Mhm.
all your interests and try and try and try. How would you know that your favorite flavor of the pizza is pineapple if you don't try it? So just try and try and try and try. And when you find it, hold on to it and never let it go. Para talagang love life yan, eh, no?
Oo, mismo!
But
I
also,
love it.
also, like one thing that you should stop doing is to stop planning a lot. Stop
Bakit may
planning
pagtingin ng
a lot.
gano'n, Alec naman?
Stop planning a lot. Like, okay, you've kind of planned it out. So stop just letting it become a plan. See it for
Mhm,
yourself. Try it out, because still gonna adjust your plan along the way. It doesn't need to be
mhm.
a sound plan. You just need a plan to get you started. That's all you need. And then
Yeah.
what you need to start doing, start believing in yourself. Start believing in yourself that the process is made for you. The struggles, the highs, the lows, everything in between. That's the universe way of telling you that you are on your way to where you are meant to be.
Palakpakan po natin, Alec Cuenca,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Gusto ko yan. Kaya nga, di ba? And this is one of my favorite quotes as well. You get what you repeat. 'Di ba? Your habits, what you keep doing, what you keep saying to yourself, what you say to others, your energy. What you constantly do is what you will get. And what you say to the universe, hindi ako magaling dyan. Ay, hindi ko kaya yan. That's what you're gonna get because that's what you're putting out there. So, Stop planning. I mean, yes, plan, but don't just plan. And also accept the fact that yes, it'll be hard. Just because we're saying we're, ang saya-saya namin ni Alec dito, di ba? We were in a blissful moment of our lives. Guys, it hasn't always been, it wasn't always like this. It took a lot of pain and a lot
Yeah.
of hard work, di
Yeah.
ba? And that is
And
the
also like
reality.
I just want to add in because I feel like there's another principle that I'm really applying in my life right now. Like yes, there's work. Yes, there are going to be times that there are going to be hard work, but it's not always going to be hard work. You
Mhm.
can actually reduce or like half the time that you're actually achieving your dreams or your goals or whatever you're trying to manifest if you're just really doing inspired and fun hard work, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I like that. At mahalaga dyan yung intention, 'di ba?
Yes, of course.
Inspired and hard work with intention. I love that. Alec, thank you so, so much for again and again for your energy and for everything that you've shared with us, for your knowledge, for your complete vulnerability. And I'm sure you know this already because we've done it a lot of times. But I'm going to ask you one last thing again to, kind of bring us back again to a grounded level. Because, with everything that's happening in the world right now and us going through whatever we're going through, it's always important to keep coming back to an attitude of gratitude. So please share with us and the universe whatever it is you're grateful for right now in this moment.
Right now, I'm grateful for the opportunity to express my love and the different tasks or things that I'm doing that allows me to be in my element as well. Like I miss this, Cara. So thank you so much for inviting me. I just miss talking to podcasters and creating a podcast episode. It feels like I'm so re-energized and I'm really connected to my truest self. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity to be here right now. And it's just I feel like I'm overflowing with a lot of more wisdom thanks to your questions and your insights as well. And a lot of just love and kindness, I guess. And I'm just really grateful for this opportunity to be here and to be here on your show, Cara. So thank you so much.
Thank you so, so much. Alec Cuenca, once again, everybody. I'm so, so grateful for you. I'm sure this is not going to be our last. And I look forward to finally meeting you in person, hopefully soon. And please, please invite them to listen to your podcast as well, to watch you on your YouTube or your TikTok and where they can follow you and ask help from you when they need it.
Yes, if you enjoyed this episode, hopefully you do. If you learned something, go ahead and share this. And don't forget to tag me as well at Alec Cuenca on my Instagram. And also, if you want to learn more about the things that I do, go ahead and just search me everywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Search for Alec Cuenca and consume all of my content. I talk all about these things, healing, growth, and success as well. If you want to learn more about it, go check my content out. And also, I do I'm holding a lot of live events soon. So if you are in the metro, come join us and I'd love to meet you in person. So again, thank you for allowing me to do that. And thank you for inviting me on your show, Kara. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you too. Alec Cuenca, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.